Well, should we start it?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Jason's Garage. We're going to be doing some, what you call it, I guess YouTube and Facebook mods that you found on the DR650 today. We just stuck a new skid plate on here, so next time we go single track ride, we don't have to worry about bashing the engine. What else have we got planned today, Jason?
So this is kind of like a part two. Last year we had done what we'll call part one, where what do? We removed the brass plug for the fuel screw, got that adjusted properly, ground the fuel screw down, right, or needle rather. Took the snorkel out too, right? I think those are the three things we did. So this time we're going to take it a step further. We're going to open up the airbox even more. We're going to cut 2 coils off the return spring for the slide. We're also going to drill a second hole for where the air gets pulled out of the upper chamber of the slide, which will help suck the slide up faster for better throttle response. Open up the main jet. I believe these have a 140 in it from the factory. We're going to open up to, we'll call it approximately 150 because we're going to redneck it. We have the Lex MXE muffler, but then we also have the FMF pipe as well. These mufflers are notoriously blocked up, I guess we'll say. Like, there's a ton of passages and weight in them. These guys are a lot more straight through and lighter. And on the pipe, one kind of known common issue on the stock DR pipe is that there's a huge weld right on the inlet here. You could grind it off, but I think this pipe also frees it up a little bit in other spots as well. I think we'll probably start on the exhaust. We'll just take the side seat tank off and see what we're working with and go from there. Oh, I gotta show you this too. I upped my JIS game. Supposedly these are all JIS.
Nice.
And then also little impact ones too.
Cool. Yeah, it's always good to have the right one because this Phillips can definitely get away from it pretty quick.
Especially on like the carb and stuff where they're really tight and hard to get to.
So you don't want that giant piece of metal on there anymore?
Oh, look at that thing. And in the one YouTube video, they showed a cutaway of it, and it's quite the labyrinth. Like, they're like, I don't even know how the exhaust gases get out.
I'll get a link for that and put that down in the description so you guys can check it out. It'll be interesting to see what's all in there.
As long as that's not on prime, it won't leak. Unless your petcock is shot. Figure before we tear into the car, may as well get some of the loosies out of here. May as well use this, right?
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot you have that.
So that gets us access to that guy.
Is that also part of the shield here, or is that actually welded on?
Also part of the shield. I think it went in. That was like loose. That PB worked that? That PB worked that good?
It turned it out even, huh?
It's loose. Another one of those hindsight moments. Maybe we should have split this first. It actually came pretty nice.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Is that like a sleeve maybe?
Oh, I think there's a... Is
that a
copper?
gasket?
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably one of those deals that you put it in and it's a little bit larger, and then when you tighten it down, it kind of squishes it in place.
And this is what everybody talks about. See how restrictive that is? So what people do is they take a die grinder and thin that out. In the one video, they said go down to 1 millimeter. Because that is the only weld holding this on.
Right, yeah, you don't want to take it all the way off.
Right. A little bit of a different curve to it, huh? Not quite a 180. It's not the exact same, but hopefully it fits. So these clamps will be what's replacing that. Wonder if I have to reuse that. That's possible, huh?
Clamp, yeah, probably. In the Lex instructions, I think it'll say that you're actually supposed to put RTB, or
Okay.
you know, some sort of gasket, high temp gasket between all the joints.
I suppose we can read the instructions.
Yeah, when I did the system on my KLR, I didn't put any sealant on it at all, and I've had people yelling at me about not doing it, and that's what was causing my backfiring, which, whatever. I mean, should probably do it the right way. And that is a good point. You guys have to keep in mind that we're not mechanics. I'm just a content creator, so we're not experts in any of this, and any information that I'm showing you or anything that I'm showing on the channel is definitely use at your own risk type information.
And I'm not even a content creator. Here, let's get it close so we can adjust it and tighten it later. Wonder if a little PB wouldn't hurt here.
Yeah, seems like it's kind of sticky.
Kind of gone, yeah. Thank you. Just a teensy bit. Don't need to like hydro lock it, right?
No.
Oh, maybe that stuff did help on that other bolt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it loose for now so we have some play to work with on the back end, but tight enough that you're not gonna pull the threads out. Orient the clamp so the mark acts as inboard and slide it on. Where's this mark they're talking about?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's an X on there, yeah. So that goes to the inside.
Yeah. Give the silicone a chance to dry somewhere. I suppose we need this guy, don't we? It's actually welded on.
Really?
Just says attach with OEM bolt. I think they're talking about that one hanger.
But they're assuming that you have this pipe on.
Oh,
Still, right?
good catch. They sure are. Well, we can zip that off quick. All right, so we'll silicone probably the first ½ inch of maybe both sides just to make sure we catch it where we want it. Oh, that was not supposed to happen. Did it break before it even got tight? Yep.
Possibly. Do you get more than one set or not?
Wonder if that's fixable or not. Oh, it doesn't actually spring.
Oh, it's just pinched in there,
yeah.
so pull down.
Well, that's kind of janky.
Yeah, it sure is.
You know, I was thinking it would suck if this let go and I shove that screwdriver to my hand, and then I almost did. Maybe what I'll do is crimp these ends a little better.
It's kind of weird because it's not even like if you're mixing two parts that don't go together. I mean, that's just the pipe the mid pipe that came with it, right?
Yeah.
You got it back in there, all right?
There. Well, no, this is the other one. I'm just
we're just trying to tighten it.
See, I squeezed that on the other one to make it harder to pull out.
Yeah.
Trying to just do the last coil, but that's proving difficult. There we go. Hopefully that's tight enough. And actually, maybe this is a better tool to use than the screwdriver. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. And it wasn't even tight enough. That's after I re-crimped it. There we go. Now I'll re-crimp this side again. There. Think that'll hold?
Should be better, huh?
I don't know why they couldn't just use a regular exhaust spring like snowmobiles have.
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
Like, even if you rubber coated, I mean, you can still put the rubber sleeve on it. Just
Right, yeah, that has nothing to do with how that part goes together.
I think we'll have better luck now just based on how much more I crimped it. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so probably a good idea to just kind of pinch those just like you did before you even try.
Yeah,
so you don't have to worry about shoving them back in.
Kind of half tempted to take it off and just crimp it a little more yet. Oh, there. Pinch it down a little more. Bolt already has Loctite on it, so I don't think we need to worry about that. How's that look? That really kicks it up further, which I think we want. I'm assuming it should be plumb, right?
Yeah.
Which I think it is now. So obviously this can still twist. Is there any twisting we want it to do?
Yeah, I suppose you got your clutch cable there that you're kind of close to. And then just the frame, and I suppose whatever.
I'll say this is mounted here.
That's not, what is that?
It's a brake line.
Brake line? Oh, it's just a big shield on there, huh?
Yeah. Got my ball in now. Sometimes loosening it, you'll twist those off, you know, if it's stuck. That's why I didn't use them at first. And it is a gasket, and it is aluminum. So don't need to get too crazy as long as they don't fall out. I think before I do the clamp, I might do all the mounting just so that it's exactly where it wants to be. Go to our brakes and then back it off a little.
Hopefully not.
And then we just got the one clamp, right? Which hopefully gets tight. Because that's going to hit the spring or anything. Should we shorten that thing?
Oh, is it in the spring? I think maybe it is. Why would that be? Is that in a different spot?
Well, it's probably more open before.
You think so? It just clamped it down that much further?
I think so.
Yeah,
that's my guess. I put the nut on so that when we're done cutting it, when you take the nut off, it'll kind of deburr it then. Suppose I should have put the shield on there. Kind of forgot about that. It's like moving a lot yet.
Yeah, from here it almost looks like you're gonna touch it, but
No, it's not even close.
it might just, okay, yeah, it must just be my perspective then.
It didn't really get tight. We might be relying a lot on that silicone. So now the heat shield. I think we might need to trim that back a little, huh? Yeah, it's close, but not quite, huh? The other thing that might work too is if we cut it. What if we chamfered? Yeah, what if we chamfered that corner and got it over just a little bit? Do you think that buys us something?
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh yeah, look at that. See how far over we are now? And it's still hitting. I wonder if it's not taller too. Yeah, it's definitely taller. Way taller. That's a stainless piping. I can't weld it on.
Yeah, you might just have to trim that back part, huh? Well, I guess, and I suppose you gotta do both sides, huh? The inside and the outside.
'Cause if this hits, that's gonna really hit. It's a little redneck. I think not even touching the hole at all, is it? I don't think that square is getting in this recess. It's just not touching it at all. Think that'll help any? Nope, it hits it. Now it's clearing it pretty good. But got her all tight. Should protect your leg at least. I think we'll, just for funsies, drop the tank on and start it. And then continue with our mods. What do you think of that?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
It does bark a little more, don't it? Actually, it doesn't backfire as bad as I thought it would.
Oh, yeah, it's not too bad.
The stock pipe actually does that. I don't know if you notice, like on a downshift,
pops a little.
Because I read that once where it's like your stock pipe did the same thing, you just never heard it.
Sure, yeah.
And that's 100% accurate. Like after reading that, I listened to it and like you'll do a downshift and you'll hear it, but it's real subtle because it does kill so much of the sound. So with the exhaust done, I think we'll move on to the airbox next. We're going to do a 2-inch hole kind of as far back and over. I kind of want to stay away from this vent breather here. How's she look?
Like I could use some oil. Does it feel dry? Oh, it doesn't look dry.
Nope.
It's not on there right either. That shouldn't come off that easy.
Oops.
Yeah, so that should all be kind of tucked in there, and then it's supposed to pinch that. It's actually kind of tricky to get it all back in there and make sure that it stays tucked in. And I usually do a layer of, I spray it. Well, you want to clean it, of course, but clean it, respray it, and then I put a bit of waterproof grease around the perimeter, so when you stick it in there, it kind of helps seal it and keeps debris and water out.
It's interesting how it has a drain, but it's plugged.
Yeah, it's a real short, stubby one, isn't it? Yeah, I pulled that out, and mine is pretty nasty in there. Actually, yeah, it looks like you've got some amount of liquid in there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and I think that comes...
oil.
Yeah, that comes from... I think there's a hole on the opposite side, maybe, that...
Oh.
There's like is there a breather?
That's probably why it's full of oil.
Yeah, because there's a... I think it's just this, isn't it? That vent?
Yeah, see now it's actually wedged in there. Probably don't want to cram too much in here because then it'll catch the rig, right?
True, yeah.
When you look on like eBay, a lot of these will be already drilled out.
Oh, the boxes?
Yeah, like for cheap, it's actually hard to find one that's not drilled out. Oh, we're really close. I think that'll work. Oops. Just do that. And then while we're at it, I think we'll take a gander at this guy. Doesn't really want to just pull out nice. Oop. No, it did something.
Just a soft material that bends? Yeah. There you go.
Must be something. Oh, there's one on the backside too, so you can't really push it out too nicely.
That seem like it has oil on it or not?
No, it's just like disintegrating too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like gone.
Oh, yikes, yeah.
I think O'Reilly just stocks those little filters, like the little cone filters you're talking about.
Yeah, somebody was telling me that I think that one is supposed to be better just because it's going to keep the debris out a little bit better than a cone, but you know, something's better than nothing. Anything's better than that.
Yeah, that's about it. Looks like you just pick that up and it goes. I suppose if I take it off completely, that'll...
Yeah, I think you might have to.
That is nice having the right screwdriver for the job.
Yeah, they really do lock in there a lot better. I've got Tusk started making some, so I got some from them.
Oh, nice. They're hard to find.
They are, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think you can find one in a brick and mortar store anywhere. So when you move this, careful of this choke, because it's plastic. That'll be enough to get that off at least. So there's our top. So one thing to watch for is this little O-ring here. Make sure that stays in place. And then this is our spring. So we'll cut it right about there. Get 2 laps of it off, right? So by cutting that off, that slide's going to want to come up faster and down slower. which should help with throttle response. And then also kind of just the harshness of backing off the throttle too. And the other thing to note is if you look at this slide guide, do you see how there's like 2 little holes in there? It almost looks like an injection molding push out. That hole right there. There's one right there. And then there's 2 more, I think, further in. Those are kind of like wear indicators. So that breather that fell apart in my hands, like if that's letting stuff in, then that'll wear out faster.
Sure. Interesting.
This is that needle that we ground down last time. We kind of overdid it.
Yeah, I think somebody said that they tried and did basically the same thing you did, but it ended up being not straight when they went to do it, so their needle ended up being crooked, but they just like bent it and figured they'd try it, and he said it worked great.
So our next thing on our list was to drill this hole larger and add one on this side as well. So there's a vacuum on this bottom portion, and what it does then is it sucks the air out of the top, which lifts this up. And so what we're doing is we're letting more air out of the top faster so it can come up faster. And that was an 1/8 inch drill bit we're gonna use on that. I think that's this guy. I don't know if you can see in there. There's actually like an outline of where it would have been anyway.
Oh yeah, look at that.
We'll try the side that's like done already and see how it goes. So that seems pretty good. I had to be careful because once it sucked it in, then it wanted to kind of go sideways on me. But I think this will work for starting it at least. Do you see it coming through?
Oh, there it is.
And then to clean it up, I think I'll go on this side. There, it's in all the way.
Yep.
And then that plastic thing goes down. Yeah, these do work out nicer.
Pretty sure last time you couldn't even get those to budge.
Yeah, because we were trying to by hand with that one JIS I had, remember?
Yeah.
See if that does us anything.
Oh, you're hitting the brake reservoir. Okay, if you pull that off.
Everybody says these are impossible to get off. Well, I think we found the hack for getting the Suzuki bowl off. Get yourself a 2-ish, 3-inch long GIS bit like that, which I'm sure our friend Mr. Swanky Cat can probably put in the
Description? Yeah, we can find a link
yeah.
for that, I'm sure. Yeah, that definitely works slicker than anything else I've seen.
So the needle seat, you can kind of see a little metal tang there. That's the needle and seat that lets the fuel in. So usually the fuel line is connected. Yeah, so right here's the fuel line, which then goes through the body to here. And then as that bowl fills up, the float goes up, shuts off the fuel, then pushes that needle into that seat. And so our main is going to be this guy right here.
Yeah, it's Suzuki quad that I've got. I couldn't figure out why it kept leaking gas out the overflow. I messed with that tang to adjust the float height and cleaned it out and just could never figure out. Replaced the carburetor. And then I think immediately after I replaced it with just like an Amazon carburetor, it was giving me the same exact problem. So I was like, what in the heck is going on? I took the aftermarket one apart and had a plastic float like this, and one side was filled with fuel. Oh. And I was like, I wonder if that's wrong. If that's what's wrong with the OEM one too. So I looked at that, and sure enough, that was the OEM one is like a brass float, and the solder had like a pin.
But even the new one had the same problem?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yep.
So this is a 140, which is the stock. Most people have good luck with 150. This is Swanky Cat though, not Formula One, so we're gonna use our drill bits. No idea how well this will work or not. Figure worst case scenario, you're out $5, right?
This is from that Enduro cross training, or
No,
this is
he
Facebook group?
says spend this $10 and get a 150. I read it on a forum once that, or maybe it was even a comment in that one. Now I know, the jet experts out there are going to say it's not the same. So there are tables out there for different jets, and there are certain manufacturers where like a 150 jet is 1.5 mm. I know even in that case, it's probably not that simple because this does have a taper in and a taper out, which I'm sure plays into the characteristics of it. But I read one guy on the internet drove it to 1.5 and had luck with it. So we're going to try it and see what happens.
More of an experiment than a recommendation.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much how the entire channel is.
Almost as precise as this 0.6 drill bit. So we want bigger than that. That must be the 1.2. There, I think that's what we're going with. Is 40 thousandths of a millimeter a big deal?
We're gonna find out.
Well, that's where you just start like,
right, yeah.
And then you get your chamfer in and out too then. Oh, it's a 1.2 there. So how close? So that goes through it pretty loosely actually. So that does not. So that gives us some hope. A 140 is bigger than 120, but smaller than 150. So there's some...
somewhere in the ballpark.
There's some chance that what we're doing will work. Sure didn't take a lot out of it. But, I mean, a 140 to 150 isn't a lot, right?
No.
See how this thing's all kinked up now? We gotta pull that back out like that, and when it's in position, it should get through this thing yet. You can see there's a little indent in the rubber. Yeah. See how it fits in that hole?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we should look at the plug color now and then see how it compares in a couple hundred miles?
Stuff in there?
Yeah, a little bit. Does that look better? I think it does.
Yeah, I think so. Must be one of the 2-cylinder DRs, huh?
Well, it's funny. Like, that truck has 2 per cylinder.
Really?
My Crossfire has 2 per cylinder. Huh. So it's actually...
not all that uncommon. Huh?
No.
Yeah, the Honda XR650L has 1 spark plug, but 2 exhaust outlets, and the Suzuki has 1 exhaust outlet and 2 spark plugs.
One at a time and then baseline it.
That makes sense, yeah. Because I think, are they different?
No, but
the same plug?
just so we put them in the same spot in case they look different now or later. So it's pretty dark, which is probably a good thing, but that's something we'll want to make sure it stays that way, right?
Right, yeah.
Probably vacuum it once more now, huh? Before that stuff drops in. So the spec was 7 to 8. This is 7.5. And it went in there tightly, so it should be good. That should get her screaming, huh? So for record, that's the outside. It looks pretty dark. If anything, it was probably rich. That one's dark, and if anything, actually wet. Definitely need the vacuum again. Snug 7.5, that should be between 7 and 8 then, right? So they're both pretty dark. I've always heard that like paper bag brown or like latte brown is, is what you want. If anything, I think these are probably too dark.
Yeah, because white would mean too hot, right?
Right. A little darker is probably better than a little lighter. just put this in as is, or should we
Yeah, I
make
was
it-
thinking about that, but with that hole in there, I don't know.
or
I
do
think
we
you
just go to the store now and get something?
Yeah,
that,
I mean, I think if you're gonna try to do any fine tuning,
wanna
I
do
think you
that?
probably want the right thing
you got
in
time?
there.
You want to go to the store?
Yeah, if we got time, I might as well.
Yeah, so here that line just disappears. See
Oh
that?
yeah, look at that. Weird.
Yeah, see, it's almost up to the dot. Yeah, see, it disappears there.
Yeah, I think somebody was telling me that they've had problems with these with that same
think
tire
I've
as well.
seen it as well. Yeah, I think that's the only spot. The other side's good. And yeah, it's just that one spot right here. You can see it disappears.
So what is that thing actually supposed to be for?
Some type of lawnmower, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, I suppose.
You touch a thing at all and it just keeps disappearing. I don't know. We said we weren't like professionals or whatever.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, we did that. Oh, yeah, see, like, now it's just gone.
Just melted
Yeah, you
itself
can
to that one.
Yeah, it's just gone. I think that'll work, but I'm going to soak it before I wedge it in there, right?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
I don't think I have anything that uses this. This might be the same oil we used when we honed that Arctic head.
Oh yeah, it does look familiar.
It's going somewhere. Good enough?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Let's see if we can get that cross back in there. Wherever that went. For Pete's sake.
Oh, there it is.
How do you fit that in there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a tight fit.
I think that's it. You can kind of see how, I don't know if you can see that step there or not. Yeah, see how it locked in there?
Yeah.
There's 4 of those in there. So that's that, right?
Yeah.
Watch it fill. Chug, chug, chug. And then hopefully it doesn't leak out anywhere. Dab of Loctite. That goes there, and then tuck your tabs under, and your bolt should hopefully line up.
Yeah, there's actually there's a tab in the front here too. Or at least mine has it. Does yours not? Oh yeah, no, it does. It's I think you might have made it.
Front or here?
Just behind here. I see that. Yeah. Yeah, for the longest time I didn't know they were there, and all of a sudden one day I was like, what is that supposed to go on?
Yeah, I think I caught it. Should I Loctite that too? Actually, I've heard of people losing these. I think I will, actually.
Yeah, even the Airbox screws, now that I think about it, might not be a bad idea to put Loctite on.
Yeah, big bore one-lungers aren't exactly known for their smoothness.
No. They do shed bolts once in a while.
I suppose we're going to check this fitment yet, did we? It's got a little rubber thing that actually hits it, barely. That will help keep it from touching it completely.
Oh yeah.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Should we start it? So I'm actually knocking the idle down to try to find the sweet spot for that screw. You can see it's changing color. Which reminds me, they actually said to brake clean it and wipe it before you start it and get it hot because it might stain it.
Oh.
So that's as low as I can idle it.
Really?
Well, because the adjustment screw has an adjustment to it. Because I'd have to reset this lower. It's backed out all the way.
Sure.
Because see, now it starts to come out the top. See that?
Yeah.
But now it's bottomed out. So if I wanted it lower, I'd have to drop the whole thing. But I think that'll be fine. We're at like 900. So I was just going to move that screw in and out and see if we notice any difference. So you can hear it coming down, I think. Maybe not. Now it is.
Yep.
So that's only like a half turn open right now. I went in like a full turn. That's back where it was. Kind of hard to fit my hand in there. That's about 2.5 out. That's about 3.5 out. That's closed.
Closed?
Yeah. Yeah, see, this thing ain't the best, is it? Whoop. Now it finally kicked out. So it doesn't like closed.
No.
And that's 2. It seems to like 2, doesn't it? Hear it coming back up.
Yeah.
Does park a little bit, don't it?
It does.
Something like that.
Is that where it's supposed to be?
If it's accurate. If this,
Wow.
if that gauge is accurate, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds way too high to me.
According to this, that's only like 1,000.
Yeah, that's, I don't know.
Do you think this is wrong?
It could be.
Look at that pipe now. So we did open that fuel screw a little bit. I think I'm at 2 turns now. It was like 1 5/8.
Yeah.
Which is probably not enough to warrant a pilot jet change then, right? I mean, at some point you get so many turns out where you just need to rejet it. I don't think 2 is it.
No, 2 doesn't sound that crazy. So now what? You gonna take it for a ride?
Might have to, huh?
Sounds nice, huh? Look, little puppy.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah, it looks like it.
You'll have to give that a try.
Woof.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's quicker than mine.
So while getting on it and romping on it and enjoying the main benefits of what we did, works fine, still does. Using it as a commuter and idling it and stopping at stoplights, found out it could be a little better. It's getting a little bit of a surge on the low end, either at idle or just cracked throttle. Got a few things in mind. What we're going to start with is a bigger pilot, thinking it might be getting starved and it's almost like it's running out of gas. If that helps the idle and not the cracked throttle, maybe we'll lift the needle up a little bit, just shim it up, because this one's not adjustable, the stock one. So kind of just fiddling with it a little bit in that regard, just try to smooth out the idle, and it's not even really throttle response, because it responds pretty well. The issue's more just constant, like a throttle. It kind of likes to surge a little.